I can think of only one thing that could lift my spirits right now. Beer.
Beer.
Beer. Beer. Beer. Beer. Beer.
This is Drink of Ages on ESPN 97.5.
The only show dedicated to craft beer, spirits, and music.
Here's your host and luminary, John Denman.
John Denman.
All right, welcome to this week's episode of Drink of Ages radio show on ESPN 97.5. I am John Denman, your host. DJ Muscratch, the producer over there. Jason from Hell and High Water, making all the video happen that you can find on YouTube if you want to subscribe to our channel, Drink of Ages, and see all the fun stuff that we are drinking and enjoying during the show. We have a fun one tonight. We are here live at House of Blues in the restaurant. Our music guest, Market Junction, badass band, been around for a little while, making some great music. And our brewery guest from Senate Brewing in Jersey Village, we have Andrew and Michelle Mitcham.
Hello.
Hello.
Howdy.
Well, welcome.
Thanks for having us.
To
I appreciate
Drink
it.
of Ages, fresh off the airplane,
Yes.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
fresh from the airport to the brewery, then to here.
Straight,
Yes.
we just stopped at home real quick to change shirts. That's literally all we did.
Where'd you guys go?
Cancun.
Okay. That's why it was
We needed to get away for a minute.
That's why it was so easy to salute.
Yes,
It was
salute.
just very easy. Cancun's such a great, easy spot, too. It's,
is.
Just for a
Yeah.
quick weekend trip.
It's
Quick
2
weekend.
hours,
We were there
it's
for like 3
yeah.
nights, and we only go there to relax. Like, that's what Cancun's for. Just to
Quick-
chill out on the
yeah.
beach. We don't really do much. Just
Quick flight, not too much.
yeah,
Cheap,
2 hour,
easy.
2.5 hour flight, and cheap, easy.
Great beaches,
Sit there.
There you go.
Sit there.
good food, great
Good
food,
food.
Great food. Yeah.
lots of
Good
drinks
people.
nonstop.
Yep.
Nonstop, and they bring them to you.
Yes.
You don't have to go get them. They
No.
just walk them to you. It's great.
You just stay on the beach, and yeah.
Could learn something here.
It is a great part of the world, right? It is a great part of the world. I haven't been to Cancun in a little while. Since I've been married. Used to go to Cancun a lot when I wasn't married, just because it's fun. And then when I got married, it was like, let's just go a little further south, you know. And
Yeah.
I don't know. Cancun to me, from when I was going, it was much more of a party place.
Sure.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
so that's what I was doing. So that's what I remember going to Cancun. So it's
Yeah.
like, I can't be here with my wife, man. That is.
Well, we found a really nice chill spot because
Yeah.
we have our 2 daughters who are 8 and 10, and they absolutely love it. They're easygoing too. So we
Yeah,
found a real nice part north of Cancun.
Yeah. It's about 30 minutes
30
north,
minutes
so
north,
it's
and
quiet.
real
We
quiet.
don't
It's
go to
not.
the
It's not in the.
The little
hotel
parties.
There's
district
no
or
phone.
whatever it
There's
is.
no phone parties
There's
happening
no phone,
there.
phone
yeah.
parties next door.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
It's very quiet.
I do kind of miss a good phone party. Those
Still
are
got
fun.
them. They still got them there. So
I would imagine.
There's some shower gel. I'm sure you can make one.
yeah.
In
They
your
may kick you
room.
out, but hey, go out with a bang, man.
Just. I think the last phone party was in Mazatlan, and all of a sudden I'm sitting there, and it just kept going and getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and I'm like, I can't see anybody
Sounds like
just
a
touching people. It's like, hey, where'd you go?
I have
Safety
never
issue.
been to one.
Yeah.
I've never been to one.
Never done it. We were down the beach from one years ago when you and
We
I went
just
by
watched
ourselves,
in
and we were just
amazement,
kind of standing back, watching it. Like, glad I'm not over there.
I mean, you don't need a bath.
That's true.
I mean, you're just in
Yeah.
there,
That's
just
true.
go ahead and just wash up a little bit while you're in there. Take
Yeah.
some shots of tequila and just
Totally.
carry on.
Hey,
Fair,
it's for some
fair.
people, just not
There
me.
you go.
Then the contests start, and
Contests
everybody yells
begin.
"skin to win," and that's when
That's when the regrets start.
it all.
That's when the regrets start.
No, that's awesome. It's good you guys get a break, to go down there. I mean, it's,
Yes.
Got to squeeze it in when we can.
yeah, and the more of those you get, the better it absolutely is.
It's finding time for ourselves has been the struggle. Opening a brewery in the middle of a pandemic, and all the other crazy full-time jobs that we have. So yeah, it's been nuts.
You.
No doubt. I mean, you guys opened up how many months ago?
In October,
September,
last
October.
weekend of September. So we really got
October.
the big crowd in 1st of October. So yeah, it was. The original plan was to open back in last year in April. We're all of myself and all of our other investors. We're all Astros fans, and all our investors are dads in the neighborhood, basically families in the neighborhood. So that we know. So we're all Astros fans. We're trying to open up for opening day, and then the world took a crap.
Stopped.
That
and
thing happened.
Nothing happened.
Yes.
And then also I was mayor at the time, so it completely took over my life, her life, because she has a practice that she runs. So it just completely took a back seat. All the trades stopped. Our build-out stopped. So everything stopped. And then we just were kind of looking at the retransmission rate of coronavirus to open. We were like, well, do we open? Like, we don't want to be. We don't want to be a
about
public
it.
health
Yeah,
nuisance,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
because we knew if we opened, there'd be a ton of people, and I'm the mayor. I
That
didn't
just
want to be on
looks
the
bad
news
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we were watching that, and it was good weather. Astros were in the playoffs, and the retransmission rate was under
We were
1.
like,
That was
"Let's do it."
our metric was RT under 1.0, and it happened, and we spaced everything out. We opened up, and it was an absolutely bonkers opening. So far
And,
exceeded our
yeah,
expectations.
Hasn't stopped since.
Yeah, we were going crazy that week and weekend.
Yeah, the first
so.
few weeks.
And Michelle was hiring people like crazy because our original plan was to not have anybody hired, really. We were just going to be like
Yeah.
mom and pop. Oh, we're just going to serve beer and
Maybe
with
an
some of
investor
our
jump in.
friends helping us out, but we didn't really have a plan to hire anybody. And then when we had a line out the door wrapped around the building, we're like, we should probably hire some people. and
I need some hands and some
Yes.
bodies.
yeah, so
I
luckily
got tired of cleaning the bathrooms all by
she is, like,
myself.
yeah, yeah. She was cleaning toilets. I was cleaning toilets, mopping. You know, all the stuff.
You know,
but for
gotta pay
a
your
much
dues
bigger
in the
crowd than we
beginning.
You
expected.
either do it all.
You have to do the front and the back and the side of the house,
Just
all
to
of it.
understand what
20 hour,
exactly it
You know?
literally
takes.
20-hour days.
Exactly.
And for a solid 2 weeks, and then she's the absolute best at hiring people. She knows people really well, so she hired our incredible staff, and we had sort of a mixed blessing with COVID. There were a lot of bars that were shut down, so we
Yeah.
had a lot of people who were looking for work in this industry that we happened to be the one place that was opening up, so we had a lot of great experienced people through the door.
We got some good
And
talent.
Michelle did a fantastic job of finding the cream of the crop, which was a good crop, but even the best of the best, and they're still there. They're still here. We have a fantastic crowd, fantastic crew there. So
I love our staff. They're like family.
they're family to us.
I know
yeah,
it's
we love
cliche
them.
and people say that a lot, but
No, but there's actual facts to that, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's how you want to operate a business, though. You want everybody to be on board with what you
Yeah.
want to do and appreciate it, and actually like, just continue to let's make this place better.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, you spend so many hours with these people. They should be people that you like and eventually love.
Yeah.
And we found throughout this crazy 8 months that we love our staff. We love them. They are our family. We'll do anything for them.
yeah.
And I don't
And
mean
they
that
love each
cliche
other.
wise. I mean that they are my family. So
On the weekends, we see them hanging out or after work hanging out, and it's nice when you can see your employees.
There's not very many
Just-
jobs I
just-
had that I'm like, you know where I'm going this
With-
weekend?
hang out
Back
my,
to work.
Hang out with them, or they'll go do other things together, and it's adorable to see because then you know you've got a good crew because
Exactly.
in their free time they choose to hang out with each other.
right.
And they're all looking out for each other.
They
and not
are.
like, you didn't clean the bathroom.
No, none of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no shaming going on. Everyone's and everyone understands too, because we have fast days, crazy days, we have slow days. So if something doesn't happen, there's no like you didn't do this. It's almost been a
No.
crazy day. And yep,
Yeah,
absolutely.
they just high five each other and keep going.
But yeah, they hang out after work, and I love seeing it. I love driving by because we live blocks
Yeah,
away from the
great.
brewery, so we drive by and we kind of look. And after hours,
They're
the
still there.
lights are still on, and they're still hanging out having a beer. So I love it. So
Like,
it
just
just means
laughing
that we
their
hired a
faces
really
off,
good
yeah.
crew of people, and that's really what makes any business is
Yeah.
that if they
It's when
jive
you know
together.
you did something right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. And the minute that it's not, it's like in that situation, then it's very obvious the reason why it's not working well.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So-
Absolutely.
No, that's for the first year being open to already kind of had that crew set, because usually you got to cycle through some people
Oh, sure.
and
Yeah.
find who's going to work out, because personalities. I mean, everybody's personality is different.
Absolutely.
I mean, even with
Fair.
you guys are super laid back and everything else, but sometimes, for some reason, people clash with that, with
Sure.
good bosses.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, people also you gotta watch, because sometimes people take advantage of laid back people, and we haven't
Yeah.
had that happen yet, which is great.
Knock on wood.
Knock on wood so far. But we're learning. It's a learning process, and we're learning quickly. We're learning on the fly. We haven't we didn't open like a lot of other breweries did. We didn't have that R&D phase. We didn't have the, hey, let's brew beer for 6 months before our rent starts and then open. It was open, brew beer, hope
Let's
everyone
do
likes
it.
it, and figure it out as we go. So you'll notice if you come to our brewery, there's a lot of really basic beers on the menu, and that's because we're still trying to take my homebrew recipes and turn them into production recipes on this larger scale, and we're brewing on water that I didn't brew on when I was a home brewer, and you have yeast attenuation that goes up to 90 instead of 75. So there's so many little bitty things here and there.
He's talking nerdy now.
I'm getting nerdy, but hey, that's
real nerdy.
If anyone's trying to open a brewery, don't just go. If you go from home brew to production brew, no one ever really said. People say, "Oh, it's different." Well, the difference is your equipment's better, you're more efficient. As a matter of fact, your temperature control is way better. It turns out differently, so you have to, and your water really, really, really matters. If you're small like us, we don't have RO. We're brewing on city water that we filter and remove the chloramines and everything. But so it behaves differently, and it's not like home brewing where I could just get RO and add some spring water and add my gypsum back and have it's different. And so, when you open up and you're still trying to figure things out, you're doing it in front of everybody.
Yeah.
You're not opening up like, hey, here's our beers.
Yeah, and with all the reviews and Untapped and everything else.
We've been lucky so far.
We've been lucky. I knew talking to. What was great was before we opened, we did do our market research, and we didn't just we walked around and we went to many different breweries. We talked to the owners.
It was a tough job.
Michelle
drinking all
has
that beer.
absolutely no
R&D.
filter.
Just go out there
man.
and know.
I know it's hard,
rough.
but she did a really, really great job of finding the owners of the breweries and talking to them and having
I'll
no
ask anybody
filter. She'll
anything.
ask anybody any questions. That's a
good.
good.
I have no
leader.
care
And
units.
she'll just the worst they can say is no
hey,
or get out.
Let's talk about your books.
So we would ask them all these questions, and that's what's great about this industry is everyone's so open, and so we ask them, what's your biggest regret? What's your biggest, all these, what would you do differently? And we try to incorporate as best we can. So I think we got a bit of a leg up because we're standing on the shoulders of all these great brewers in the area that we talked to.
They were really helpful.
And they were extremely helpful, and it helped us open up as best as we possibly could given the circumstances. We're still not there yet. I feel like we are getting very, very close to where I want to be, where my quality, where my standards are. But we're already making really great beers, in my opinion. And I think the numbers agree, but I don't pay attention to. I think that was the biggest thing that I heard from a lot of brewers, like, do not get on Untapped. Do not look at the
I
reviews.
haven't looked on Untapped.
I have not
Is it
been
bad?
on there in
No.
a
No,
long.
I have no idea. I don't have it. I don't look at it.
But it's people give their opinions, and if they don't like something, and then also, John, someone could just be having a bad day, and that was one thing we were talking about too. Was if you come to our brewery, it's a great atmosphere. It's food, it's beer, it's hanging out with friends.
Pretty.
You don't
kid-friendly.
have to just drink beer. We also have an extensive wine menu and ciders and seltzers and sodas. You can bring your kids. So I think we also get a good review because you had a good time coming there. See the whole experience. It's not just the beer. And so any beer reviews that we get, I've noticed, have been anything critical has not been that it's bad. It's just that it's very basic. It's very and which is because we're beginning. We're starting. We're
there's
doing
nothing wrong with basic. There's
like,
nothing wrong with a pale ale and a good Kolsch. There's
no.
and
We'll get into the hazies and the sours, I'm sure, eventually.
Right, but you do not want to go to
right
a brewery that's still working on their water
Not 8
and
months
drink
in,
their hazy IPA. No, don't work on. Don't do that. Wait till they have a time. It's like being involved in a play and just doing like the first time you read the script is opening night. That's basically how we opened. Was this is our beer, and we're going to make it better as we go, and we're going to go through equipment failures. We're going to go through water profile changes. We're going to test some things out, and we're not going to have a starting lineup until we feel like we have it. And it's different from a place that had time to dump batches, which we had to do, but everybody does. But not on the scale that other places have had. And I feel like I'm like defending our beer. I think our beer is really great.
I think this pale ale that we're drinking is really good.
But thank you. I'm not a new brewer. I've been homebrewing for a long time, so I know what good beer tastes like, and I think our beer is good. But as far as like what, am I ready to look at Untapped good? Probably not.
Yeah, I wouldn't pay that much
And you
attention
do a
to
good
it.
job too of where there's holes in the recipes that you don't have. Other local breweries around Houston, we will take and put them on tap. So a lot of places we go, it's theirs and theirs only. So sometimes there's only 4 that they've got, but we sometimes have up to 5 guest taps that fill in the hole.
Right,
So
yeah, I saw
a
that.
sour and
Yeah.
things that
So
we
you'll-
like. If our porter's out, we shop around. Hey, who's got a porter we can get?
Right.
So-
I'm a huge fan of all the breweries in our area, in our region, and I feel that I'm even included in that group of brewmasters that I feel out of place a little bit.
Yeah.
I haven't earned my stripes yet, but the fact that John Holler delivers his beer to me is pretty cool. But getting to know all these other breweries, and if we're out of something, if we feel like for example, our amber that I brewed a couple weeks ago, it just didn't turn out great, and I dumped it. Well, we didn't have an amber. We didn't have anything. We had a lot of hoppy stuff, not really malty stuff. So we'll buy a guest tap.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is I thought that putting a lot of guest taps on at the brewery would be sort of frowned upon. It's been the opposite. We've gotten great reaction
And
from
we
people.
get to find like little tiny breweries who don't have food, and then we get to bring them out and give them some.
And there's a lot of breweries that were
recognition,
struggling
too.
during COVID. I mean,
And you were able to put their
Yeah.
beers on.
local group. And there's a lot of breweries that opened pretty darn close to when we did.
Yeah.
And it's great to
Because,
expose our crowd to their beers, and anyone refers to them as competitors. I'm like, no, they're not
Yeah,
competitors.
we're all friends.
I'm a
Yeah.
huge
Competitors.
fan. That's the only way I really get to try other beers is when they bring a guest tap to me. So I love it, and I think going forward, our next expansion, if you will be to add some more taps, and I will always have guest taps on.
taps.
I think the self-distributing breweries need help, and they need they don't need help, but I think just getting their name out to our side of town, especially, which is very underserved in the craft beer market, in my opinion.
I agree. I think
and
it's a good
and
thing.
it hasn't been
Good
frowned
stuff.
upon. I thought it would be, but it
No.
has
No,
not.
I like that about us.
Yeah.
No, it is. It's good walking in and seeing guest taps on it
Sure.
at breweries. So let's take a quick break. Listen to some Market Junction,
All right.
our music
Let's do
guest.
it.
We get back, we'll talk more with Andrew and Michelle from Senate Avenue Brewing. I think I said that right the first time.
That's all right. We'll
Senate
take
Brewing,
both.
Senate Avenue.
Senate Avenue Brewing. This is Drink of Ages. We'll be right back.
Left my cell phone on the toilet roll dispenser at the Chevron, trying to make a show down around Beaumont. Spent every dime I had there at the gas pump. Next day my wife called, said she was tired of living like a sad song. Wondered how much longer she could hold on. Can't remember last time I'd been home. If you don't take me back when I get home to Houston, honey, where else will I go? You got scared and I've been ate up with confusion, trying to make this whole thing work. With all the miles I keep putting on our love. Got a bad sunburn at a festival we played out on a rice farm. Reminded me of our weekend in Austin. I promised we'd go back sometime last summer. You watched the kids play, I'm out counting barely make enough to keep the rent paid. Trying to make it home before it's too late. If you don't take me back when I get home to Houston, honey, where else will I go? You got scared and I've been ate up with confusion, trying to make this whole thing work. If you don't take me back when I get home to Houston, honey, where else will I go? You got scared and I've been ate up with confusion, trying to make this whole thing work. With all the miles I keep putting on our love, miles on our love.
Platypus Brewing, brewed with a Texan heart and Australian soul. Local brew craft beer, full restaurant, wine and cider, private event space located a stone's throw from downtown at 1902 Washington Avenue. What's your choice? Taco Tuesday, surf and turf steak night Wednesday, barbecue Thursday, smoked in house, fish and chips Friday, the best in town, covered patio and kids menu available, and up to 15 beers on tap, including a range of cores and always new specialties from blondes, sours, IPAs, ambers and porters and stouts. Whatever your choice, we look forward to seeing you. Hey, book your next event at Platypus, platypusbrewing.com.
Weekends are a great time to check out Megaton Brewing in Kingwood. Jared, Chris, and the gang have created a badass place to kick back and enjoy a few beers. Big stouts, approachable sours, and plenty of hoppy brews are on tap at Megaton. Lots of space to hold your birthday party, corporate outing, or any event in one of the most unique tap rooms in the Houston area. Check them out on social media for their concert and event schedule. Megaton Brewery. Hope to see everyone at the vault. You may have noticed there have been quite a few changes at No Label, and they are steadily pumping out tasty brews. With their new head brewer, Trailer, bringing in his West Coast brewing skills, taps have been flowing with lots of hoppy deliciousness like Cali Boy West Coast IPA. I'm real excited about what they're doing on the west side. Tap room is open 7 days a week, very family and dog friendly. Make the short trip to Katy and see what is happening at No Label. Follow them on social media for events and beer releases. No Label Brewing Company. Have an event in mind and looking for a place that is fun and beer is involved? Host your next event at a brewery. At Spindletap, they have full venue rental and partial rental options that are perfect for company events, birthday parties, weddings, receptions, and more. Host a memorable event at a venue that offers a fun atmosphere and many amenities. Email info@spindletap.com or call 713-325-1477 to get more details. Key T Wellness, our friends down in Dickinson, is where you need to go if you're feeling sluggish, non-energetic, and non-motivated, not just when you're hungover. Get to know your numbers. As we get a little older, our hormone levels change, men and women. Key T Wellness can help. Weight loss, hormone optimization, low testosterone, B12, Botox, and more. Stop in and tell them that you heard it on Drink of Ages and get a free B12 shot. KeyTWellness.com. Why not feel your best again? KeyTWellness.com.
All right, we're back. This is Drink of Ages radio show on ESPN 97.5 here at House of Blues. I'm John Denman. Our guest this week is Andrew and Michelle Mitcham from Senate Avenue Brewing. Just got finished listening to badass local band Market Junction.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
That last song was the best.
I don't know how we're going to follow that.
Well, I think we're going to sing
We're going to sing a ditty?
What's when three people sing? I mean, when two people sing is a duet.
I can only play the triangle.
Trio,
That's all I know.
yeah.
I can tap the table.
I've got a beat. I can keep a beat. That's about it.
I can beatbox.
Yeah, she can beatboxing over here.
That was horrible at that.
I surprised everybody
cut that
the
out.
other night at a wine bar, and I sang Purple Rain.
Dang,
Nice.
really?
Oh, it was horrible.
Oh,
It was
man.
But I act. I mean, I was
did
it.
it.
I was with it though. A lot of dancing, a lot
when
of
you
pelvic
feel it, you gotta
thrusting
go. You
and
gotta
all
go.
that, so
I'm sure people enjoyed it.
We
I
did
think
a karaoke
somebody
night.
passed out. During the, she fainted. It was just too much.
Too good.
Too much Purple
I don't
Rain.
know if it was too good, but it was probably too much.
That's a great movie too.
What's the? You got a? Oh, never mind.
That's a great movie. Like I didn't really like. I've heard
What
Purple
movie are
Rain.
you talking
Purple
about?
Rain.
Oh,
Purple Rain. Like Prince. It's
Yeah, you gotta.
I didn't know he made a movie. I thought it was a
Baptize
song.
yourself in the lake.
yeah, but like the
movie.
movie is
Sorry.
fantastic. It's on VH1 all the time.
Oh,
If you never watched Purple Rain,
I'll have to
then,
watch it.
I mean, it's life lessons.
It's a great
Got
a
it.
lot of life lessons.
Producer
Yeah?
agrees. There you
Okay.
go.
I'm on it.
For
Got it
some
down.
reason, the band plays a good song. He gets mad, runs out.
Yeah, he's a very
Emotional.
finicky, emotional,
Very
diva,
emotional.
diva-ish.
Yeah.
But the moral of the story is sing real well, win a nightclub.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yep.
That's how you get nightclubs is you sing real well.
Sing real well. A lot of pelvic thrusting. There's-
There you go. Yep.
That's what we're missing right here.
A lot of falsetto screaming. I'm sure Market Street can definitely.
Noted.
well, last segment we cracked open the pale ale. What are we gonna crack open on this
Yeah.
one?
Oh goodness. Let's go dark. Secretary of Stout
Secretary
is
of
our
Stout.
stout. We actually our very first production beer because we did a Black is Beautiful beer, and
light on me there.
we you gotta kill it first.
Oh.
So yeah, we
That's good.
our very first beer was a. You good?
Good.
Oh, I had.
She asked for
I'm
a
waiting
small
for the
pour.
cheers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Our
it was
very
our first beer we
our
did.
very first
We weren't
beer.
even open.
Yeah.
And we brewed this one.
We were approved by TABC, so we could sell, but
Yeah,
we
we
were
weren't
still
ready
literally moving equipment in. So this was the very first batch was brewed on my homebrew kit, which was a 10-gallon system,
Yeah.
Smells so good.
and we
so good.
really it turned out great. So
Yeah, when this one's not on
it
tap,
was
people
it was
get angry.
it's
It's a good
fudgy coffee. There is no coffee in it, but you get coffee notes.
It's roasty.
Roasty. There you go. That's probably
Roasty.
the best way to put it.
It's roasty.
And a lot of people are like, "Oh my gosh, is there coffee in this?" Because a lot of people are like, "Oh, I don't do caffeine." And no, there's no coffee in it. But it's turned out really great. I think our as far as our beers go, our water behaves very well with malty things. So we don't do any modification other than filtration, super filtration for our blonde and our amber and the stout and our porter. So it turns out really well, I think.
This is a crowd favorite.
It is a crowd favorite. 8.7%.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the higher ones.
Yeah, we really enjoy it.
Definitely a lot of dark chocolate notes.
Dark
Yeah.
chocolate. I think there's quite a bit of black malt, roasted barley.
And as someone who really
Chocolate
loves
malt.
coffee would be really good in
Good
this.
right
I-
now.
I would not. I love coffee stouts. So one thing we really enjoy doing as well. I still have my 15-gallon homebrew fermentation tanks, and I will segregate a 15-gallon part of a brew and experiment with it because we're still opening and experimenting. So there will be in the next, give it a week. I did get 15 gallons of this out for secondary, and I put bourbon Madagascar vanilla beans in the tank. So I've been sampling it day by day. It's super good. If there's any left, I'll share it with anybody. But
I'm not going to say it's going to make it better, but that's going to be a really good beer.
I think I love it. Like we did the HC 135 pale ale. I did that. That was the first one I did. The first one I did where I took 15 gallons out of the tank into my homebrew tank, and I dry hopped it with Simcoe hops, and I released it on the day that I was done being mayor because I was term limited, and so we called it a term limited pale ale, and everyone loves that one. And now they would like it better than the HC 135, and I'm like, dang it!
Yeah.
More hops means
just more
And we
hops.
have,
More hops.
More hops.
A pecan porter, which is not the same recipe, but another dark beer. And our neighbors down a few storefronts over, Little Kitchen. If you haven't been there, please go.
Oh, Little Kitchen is the best.
They gave us some of their homemade pralines, and he did the same thing.
So we had a
and
we
I
had the
tell
pecan-
you, when people were like fighting for a
Yeah.
beer, they were excited about that one too.
It's stouts are always unique as well because you can add, like, can't add pralines to it. I mean, you could, but pralines to a lighter beer, not so much. But to darker beers, you can add so much cool stuff. You barrel age it. You
Yeah.
can add
Definitely.
vanilla, praline. The pralines turned out amazing. It made it
Just making me hungrier and hungrier.
I know.
Oh yeah, it was great. But we can do this because we are a small brewery. We're
Yeah.
3.5 barrel is our system size, so we're a nano brewery. So we can experiment and have a
Yeah.
good time, and draw out. And if we screw it up, oh well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
fun
mean,
to
it's
watch
sad.
him.
It's sad. I didn't
Because he
know.
brings back out the little tank that we brewed in the garage with, so it's nostalgic a little bit when he brings it out and does a side brew
Little
with a
tank.
couple, a
The
couple
little
gallons.
tank that could.
Because I was like, hey, there's that guy. I remember him.
Yeah, tripping over it in the garage.
But yeah, I think people also think that part is cool.
But it's fun to experiment.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Change it
craft
up.
beer is.
Well, the possibilities are limitless.
Sure.
So,
Add
trying
stuff.
to come up with a beer that hasn't been made yet.
Yeah.
I mean, just good luck.
Good
That
luck.
tastes
yeah.
good,
But
right? That
tastes
tastes
good.
good.
Yeah.
because-
What jives real well? I
Yeah.
think one thing that I really like about both food and beer is does it taste good immediately when you drink it forward, and does it linger for a little bit well, and what's the aftertaste like? So if it has a beginning, a middle, and an end, especially with
yeah.
food I'm the same way.
Yeah.
And
Better
so
with
with beer, if you can make a beer that has a good beginning, middle, and end, I mean, I don't care what it is.
Yeah,
I will love it.
The end is like makes you want to drink some more.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
leaves it wide open for you to get another one. So, I think people like beer for different reasons. I don't drink fast. I drink slow, and I like to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. And craft beer gives you that story, I think. And I think a lot of us are searching when we go to different breweries, and we try to find what's our next favorite beer. Your palate will change. My palate began with very, very hoppy stuff. It's now changing to very simple stuff because as
Yeah.
a brewer, it's very hard to make simple stuff. But you give me a good beer that has a good story behind it and a good beginning, middle, and end, and I will be its biggest fan.
Yeah, I'm pretty much. I always love going to new places and seeing the most interesting beer, and then ordering small, like little 5-ounce pours. That's why I think tasters are great.
Oh,
and
I love
flights
it.
are fantastic.
Flights are the
So
best.
you can go there
Yeah.
and try a bunch. And it's usually, all right, give me a flight of this, and that, and then I'll take a pint of that IPA.
Sure.
Is
Yeah.
normally how-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think because there's a lot of times where you get a flight and something. I'll be honest with you, I didn't drink a lot of sours until we got guest taps in the house of sours, and I found myself pouring more and more and more of the
Yeah.
sours, and that's honestly how IPAs were for a lot of people. I run a craft beer group in our city of dads in the driveway, and a lot of people show up and they'll bring a Shinerbach, and that's their craft beer, and then by the end of the night they're slamming IPAs. They've never had this exposure to really
Yeah.
great hoppy beers, and it's an acquired taste. And I think flights do a really, really great job of exposing people to getting you out of your comfort zone, almost like a sampler platter.
Yeah. We've got a good color group too on our flights.
Yeah. I think when people come in to get our flights, they get the wide range, and we do brew a very wide range of beers. To be totally honest with you, we don't specialize in just one thing. So they'll say, "Hey, give me four of yours,"
Beers,
and then our excellent team will just say, "Hey, here's what I'm going to give you."
You have 5 crowlers up here. One is a smoky. What's this?
Smoke Show
Smoke
roasted
Show,
jalapeno
roasted
blonde.
jalapeno.
Yes.
There's
Senator.
a Kolsch.
Well, I didn't vote for you, Kolsch. I'm a big
The
fan of Monty
Senator.
Python.
The
IPA.
and
The
the
HD
Pale
one,
Ale.
we already had that one, and that one we just
And
had.
The Secretary of Stout.
So yeah, it's a little bit of a lot. A lot
Yeah.
of different
And
styles.
one we're missing here is
Ready
a
and
few weeks before Valentine's Day, I told my husband, hey, can I make a pink beer? Or yes. and he
I don't have
let
an
me
answer.
do it. He let me do it, and it's one of our best sellers. We call it Married Filing Jointly because we released it right before Valentine's Day. And it's the
Strawberry
the
it's a
blonde
strawberry.
recipe, and we just added some strawberry to it and garnish it with the strawberry, and it
Yeah.
is pretty.
It's delightful.
You know,
It's
if
very
you're taking
nice.
pictures of
It's
stuff.
it has all the things. It has Instagramness because it's got a little strawberry on
Yeah.
It's
there.
one of the most important things you can put in a beer right now.
It's not sweet.
It's not
right?
it's not overly
but
sweet,
it's got strawberry flavor.
but
so
it's
not.
it's nice and light, and it's
And
super
it's
easy
pink.
to drink, and it's pink, of
And it's
course,
pink.
which I love because I'm a dad. I am also a girl dad,
Yeah.
and so
2 daughters, right?
2 daughters,
Two.
yeah,
Yeah.
Jane and Adeline. So I will do anything pink. I live in a pink house. Me and my dog Scott. My dogs Scott and Archie are the only boys in the house.
Yeah.
yeah.
So I get outvoted a lot.
The
Which is
blonde is
fine.
the only one I know how to brew, but I've brewed it maybe
Yes.
4 times now.
It was so cool teaching her
Excellent.
how to brew. And
I can't do any other recipe. Don't ask. but
It's
I
the
can do
process.
the blonde.
The process is all that
I can brew
matters.
the blonde now. I'm
You
ready.
know, but who does the cleanup? That's the hard
Me.
part.
Cleaning,
Yeah,
yeah,
well, we
cleaning.
both do it.
Yeah,
Depends
we
on what
clean.
part.
We clean. Everybody cleans. Everybody has to
cleans.
clean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Squeegeeing the floor is oddly satisfying.
It
like
is.
when you clean it all up.
Yeah. I was in the
Just turn
army,
on some
so
music
I
and-
love to
and-
clean. I was an
yeah.
enlisted guy in the army, so like cleaning
we
is
both-
like in my DNA now. So I
Yeah.
enjoy squeegeeing things and mopping things and polishing things. Oh, you want to polish something?
We're weird.
I'm your
we
man.
like that part of it.
But
I don't know what you are doing this weekend, but my house is a lot of polishing could be done and mopping and
and only if you have a floor drain in your house. Like that's when if we ever build a house, I'll just do a floor drain in our
Yeah.
house. 'Cause if you can just
Exactly.
put it all down the floor,
same
like,
thing in the
that's all-
bathroom. There's
Yeah.
gonna be a drain where I can just like
Oh,
hose
just-
it down.
If I
Pressure
can
wash
turn on a
it
hose
and-
in your house
yeah.
and squeegee it in a spot, let's do it.
When we were growing up, my friends, his dad put the vacuum in the wall, so everywhere you
Yes.
just go boom and vacuum on the stairwell, on this here, and all
I've
the
seen
rooms
that.
had a little.
That's neat.
I've seen
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Yeah. So for me, it'd be a pressure washer
Pressure
connection and a floor drain.
Yes,
Yeah, a pressure
all the
wash.
way down.
Yes, a pressure wash connection
Yeah.
would be nice.
Yep, and concrete floors everywhere.
Concrete
Yep.
floors.
concrete
sloped.
countertops.
I was gonna say sloped,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
less
Just
work.
put up paper towels and pressure wash.
I think we just designed
do
the
it.
house
Yeah,
of the
we
next
already did
century. Is what we just did.
Yeah.
I mean,
before you
know.
have kids, ladies and gentlemen, do that.
Yeah.
Tear out your carpet and do that.
Floor drains. Yeah, before you pour your foundation, put in some floor drains. Slope it.
Right in the middle.
Trench drains. And
It's not
You're
a
laughing
bad
because
plan.
you think it's a good idea.
It's a great idea.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
then,
it's
then
great,
like
right?
the bathroom, you just walk in, it's just like an open shower. You
Right.
know, with floor drains.
Yeah.
Just everything's floor drains.
Totally.
Sounds
Just wear some
great.
flip flops.
Sounds
Yeah.
great.
I love this plan.
It's great. That's how it was in the army. Just everything went in the floor.
Do it.
All right, let's take another break and let's listen to some more Market Junction.
Love it.
We'll talk more with Senate Avenue Brewing Company when we get back from this break. This is Drink of Ages here on ESPN Live at House of Blues. We'll be right back.
We say I love you, 'cause we're supposed to. It's what we use to fill the awkward in between. The way my heart aches, it ain't a new thing. I've been here before and I know the words by heart. And over time the sorrows wear and the weather drive me out like saddle leather. The years have left me here to rust, all because two hearts fell out of love. We never needed the silent treatment, 'cause it's been years since we had anything to say. The spark between us extinguished. It's just easier to live here in the wake. And over time the sorrow wears and the weather drives me out like saddle leather. Years have left me here to rust, all because two hearts fell out of love. And over time the sorrow wears and the weather drives me out like saddle leather. Years have left me here to rust, all because two hearts fell out of love.
The most fun and good times Beer Fest is back, happening November 11th through the 13th at Katy Mills Mall, featuring multiple stages of live music, food trucks, multiple party zones, and of course, lots of beers to try. Over 600 if we are counting. VIP is where you want to be, but general admission is still a great time. Get your tickets today for Wild West Brew Fest November 11th by going to wildwestbrewfest.com, one of the premier brew fests in the country, wildwestbrewfest.com. Mark your calendar for June 26th. Punks and Pints Fest Music Fest is happening at Spindle Tap, headlined by one of Houston's best, Los Carnales, with Dead Rabbits, O'Doyle Rules, The Lockdowns, and Stupid Idiot, featuring burlesque performances and a collaboration beer release between Drink of Ages, Baba Brew House, and Spindle Tap Brewery. Search Punks and Pints Fest on Eventbrite for ticket link and info, and follow on Facebook, Punks and Pints Fest, badass music and badass beers. Punks and Pint Fest, June 26th. This week's Brew Ops bottle release at True Anomaly is Commander Wonderlick, which brings together a few of the best qualities found in the neighborhood. True Anomaly convinced Eighth Wonder to do a Belgian beer, and of course they went big with a Belgian Strong Ale. True Anomaly scooped out some and conditioned it in one of their funky fooders for half a year. It's no wonder that this blend starts with rustic cedar and oak notes both in the nose and initial tasting, while finishing with a long spice touch. Both elements build and profile throughout the glass while getting a little help from the healthy ABV backbone to balance. Get some in the tap room over at True Anomaly before it's gone. Live shows are back at House of Blues with Max Flynn this Saturday, and next Tuesday, join us for the recording of Drink of Ages radio show with Ingenious Brewing and music guest Dim Roots Music. Jay Hooks Blues on Wednesday the 16th, Texas Sundown Band on Thursday, John Egan Friday at 5:30, and Thunderpants 80s cover band at 8. Come hungry. House of Blues restaurant makes some great food. The restaurant is open Tuesday through Sunday at 5 p.m. houseofblues.com/Houston for more events and info. Go see a show.
Hey, this is Blake Harris, the general manager at Rudyard's British Pub. Just want to invite you guys out to our Thursday night steak and pint night. It's $25 for a 16-ounce New York strip, party potatoes, Caesar salad, and a free pint. As well, starting at 7 o'clock, we've got $4 pints all night long. Right now, we're doing about 20 on draft, and in the near future, we will be increasing that number. So come check us out. We're at 2010 Waugh Drive in Montrose.
Enjoying tonight's show? Have a vision you need to make a reality? Reach out to Hell and High Water Productions. I did. Jason and the crew produce each Drink of Ages YouTube show. Corporate events, concerts, commercials, live streams, they have the skill and technology to make it happen. Come Hell and High Water. They are here to serve you. Give them a call at 832-356-9701. All right, this is the Drink of Ages radio show here at House of Blues. You're listening to ESPN 97.5. Listening to our music guests, if you are just tuning in, Market Junction.
Outstanding.
Great.
Man.
I think you guys should definitely get into the funeral song business.
That was a good song.
That was a good one. Play that at my funeral, please. He smelled like Miller High Life. That first line, he smelled like Miller High Life. Sounds like Andrew. Yep.
I don't know what they said. John smelled like 3-day-old beer.
Yep. He definitely smelled of something.
Man. Senate Avenue Brewing is our guest. So,
what's up, John?
What were we talking about before all this stuff?
I don't know.
We were talking about
beer.
The strawberry blonde.
Strawberry
a little
blonde.
bit.
Yep.
Let's open up another one of these. So what's going to be the next one that we open?
Let's do a different blonde. So our blonde that we brew actually makes a few different beers.
Yeah.
Because we just absolutely love our blonde. I actually mash it at a higher temperature, which if you're a home brewer or a brewer, you know, makes a more complex beer, leaves a little more body behind. So our blonde is not a typical Kolsch style blonde. It has a lot of body to it. So we added one time. I was like, hey.
This is actually a funny story for this one.
Funny story behind this one.
Is we got
this is called, so before we tell the story, this is called the Smoke Show Roasted Jalapeno Blonde.
Yes.
And
we were doing the recipe, and they were out of the typical.
Yes.
What ingredient?
This is exactly why you can't go from home brewing to production brewing. Like when people are like, oh, you can't just like take your recipe and upscale it. This is why.
Were they out of the? I don't want to say the wrong ingredient.
They were out of. I could not get. Well, I weren't out. I just was out of caramel, which
the malt.
is
Dang, I was gonna
which
say malt.
is a 15L.
Malt.
15L, which is a Lovey Bond, if you know what brewing is.
So
it's a 15L grain. And so I'm like, oh, well, you know what? I'll just scale down. I had 120L available. Same, made by William Crisp, great malting company. And I was like, oh, I'll just math.
Yeah.
I'll just use a little bit of 120 and put it into the blonde. Nope.
The answer was wrong. Do
what
not do it.
What happened was the blonde turned out tasting like ashtray cigarette.
Like smoky.
Smoky.
Yeah,
Very bad.
Don't say ashtray. That makes it sound bad. It tasted smoky. So
ashtray.
It was ashy. It was a little ashy.
Tobacco.
It was a little tobacco-esque. So we were actually going to...
There's good smoky,
yeah,
and there's bad smoky. It was bad smoky.
It's true. Barbecue smoke is good.
Yeah.
Great.
Leaving the bars before the cigarette ban.
Bowling alley in the 70s smoky. Yeah, it was bad.
So we tried it, and we were like, bleh.
Well, we were gonna dump it. We're gonna just
it
happens when you're opening a brewery and you make a bad batch. You just gonna dump it. Yep. It's fine. We've done it multiple
times. Note to self: don't substitute anymore. And then he had the great idea.
You learn as you go. That was a very much. Everyone says this. Everyone's like, oh, when you move from homebrew to production recipes, you don't just do that, but they don't tell you what to do. And so no one had an answer for me. So that was the answer, was when you're using more adjunct malts, more not your base malts, that's where you need to be careful. So anybody doing homebrewing and production and moving to a production brewery, it's your adjunct malt, it's your chocolate malts, your caramel malts, your malts that are not so much your two-row, your Pilsner. Those are the ones that really throw your flavors off, because it's a percentage of your malt bill that really throws it off. So that's, I don't know if, I didn't hear about it from anybody, so that's me giving my advice out.
Long story short, this was a happy accident.
This was an accident, and we were about to just literally open the valve and dump it. And one of our lovely co-owners, I think it was
Aaron.
It was
Aaron.
Linda Schubring.
And Pat.
Linda Schubring.
Oh, and Linda.
Linda and Scott Schubring, very good friends of ours. I believe we have a run club. Just 'cause it's out there, but they said, hey, why don't you have a roasted jalapeno on your bison burger? Why don't you just throw some roasted jalapenos in it? See what happens. And we did that, and I let it sit for like 5 days. I had my chefs got 5 pounds of jalapenos, and my chefs, I didn't want any spice to it though. I don't like pepper beers that have heat to it.
Right.
So we took out all the seeds, all the flesh, and I'm like, they blistered it and roasted it just like they do on our bison burger, and we put it in the jalapeno or in the blonde, and it turned out to be.
And now it's one of our best sellers.
Probably one of our best sellers / best reviewed. And as a beer lover myself,
accident.
like I was trying to find something wrong with it, like, oh, it was just an accident and we're just covering, but it's
Yeah, you were gonna do a one and done, and then people were mad
loved
that it wasn't on tap.
But it's
so
smooth,
now
and it's actually
it's good, right?
This is really good.
It's really good.
It's the roastiness that actually gets you.
Well, the good thing is, though, is that like a lot of happy accidents, they're like, "Hey, let's make it again." You're like, "I can't because,
I have no idea what I did.
whatever happened." Yeah.
I'll say if you're a home brewer watching this, he will never make the perfect batch over and over and over again. And so it was kind of like a production scale homebrew accident.
This is one of our ones
but I love
that
it.
I do
I love
feel
making
like
it.
is different. It sets us apart. It's
But I
a
really
different
like,
one.
yes, it sets us apart. And I think, what's great is we have a fantastic kitchen, and the guys back there work really, really hard, and they're very talented, great food. So
Yeah.
this is the one of the things that we kind of tie our kitchen into.
He's
And so-
marinated some barbecue over the weekend with it.
Yeah, we marinated
Rita
some
over here
fajitas
is
with it.
planning how she's going to put it in chocolate cake. She
I
told
can't
us.
wait for her to make that.
It's
Yeah.
a very versatile, but it's blonde, so it's easy. It's super
Yeah.
easy, and so what makes it it makes the jalapeno come out, and it makes the roast come out, and
Complements food. Yeah.
Again, I like beers that have a beginning, middle, and end, and I think this is one of those. And it happened to be something that we messed up on and rescued it, and it
Happy
turned
accidents.
out to be
Happy
something
accident,
great.
yeah.
So
And when people are doing a flight, they're like, but we're like, just try a sample, and it's
yeah.
always one of their favorites because
I
I think
can't
it's
tell
a
you-
pleasant surprise that they have this idea of what it will taste like.
I can't
Right.
tell you how many times people
And-
come in and they order a flight and they reluctantly get that
That
as
one.
their fourth selection of the flight, and they come back and they're
You
like,
get the full pour
dang
of
it.
it.
Let's get some more.
That was a good beer, and they
good.
get a full pint of it. And
Can't you
I
just
love
imagine a barbecue sandwich with this
Well, that's
one?
what I was gonna say. This beer goes with
right?
food.
Some brisket.
Yeah, give me
Absolutely.
some, like a brisket slider, like something like.
Now, this is a Houston
Bacon
beer
cheeseburger.
for sure.
born and
chicken
raised in
wings,
Houston, so this
enchiladas.
I say this is a very Houston beer in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's good. I like it.
No, this is that's like I said, happy accidents, man. I mean,
Happens. You
That's-
got it.
I'm happy with
Good save. Good save,
Yeah.
Linda.
Well, Linda,
Thanks,
Linda and
Linda.
Scott, thank you guys. Great input, and that's what we love too. Is we have a great ownership group
Yeah.
that they're all craft beer lovers, and
Yeah.
they give us all sorts of ideas and inspiration, and charities to donate to, and all sorts of great stuff.
Yeah.
So we love all of our friends who joined us in this crazy journey.
Well, I mean, it is a crazy journey for you guys because it's not a very typical journey, to say the least.
No, yeah.
I mean, you have your practice.
Mm-hmm.
You have your day jobs that
I
you
do.
councilwoman.
Mm-hmm.
You have your day job. You were mayor of Jersey
was.
Village
Yep.
until your term limits ran out,
Yep.
and which was
In
May.
in May. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's a lot already going on your plate
Yeah.
to open up a brewery.
Well, we have a bunch of investors that came into the table with us, and so the idea kind of started with him doing a meetup in the driveway with a bunch of dads.
Like a bottle share, simple
Yeah,
bottle
share,
in-
and
in
then
our- in our
they, when
town.
they're drunk, they always like have these huge ideas
Oh,
of
great
something
ideas.
local
the
in our
best
neighborhood.
ideas.
Best ideas
And
ever.
Andrew was kind enough to cash out everything he owns. Thanks, babe.
Yeah, you're welcome.
401k, all the things for me to open my practice. And so after I was on my feet for 5 years in, it was his turn. And so he went back to the drawing board with the dads and said, "Who's in?" And
Yeah.
he has about 25-ish. Yeah, so it's just a bunch of dads
It's a big
who own
nu-
a
it's a-
brewery.
yeah.
Yeah.
And like, isn't that the coolest story? Just like a bunch of neighborhood dads who
Yeah.
went in together and made this. So it is nice that anytime he does anything, he has 20 people to bounce ideas off of, or if he needs to wash kegs, he can post on the group, and there'll be like 5 dads who show up to help do something. Or we're down a runner, we'll have an investor like come with his shirt and help out, and that is community, and that is I think what
That's-
makes Senate
yeah.
so different.
That's why we started this. Well, first of all, if you start a brewery to try to get rich, don't do
No,
it.
that's a
Don't
bad
do that.
idea.
You're going to be sorely disappointed. It's about having a good time and creating a community space. And
Yeah.
I would not have done this alone. And the fact that we have such a great group of people who are backing us
Yeah.
and can always come and help us out at any time. During the freeze,
Yeah.
we had just dozens of people show up to help us out, and we call it our tribe. Our tribe of people has been amazing, and so this 8 months could have been very, very much harder.
Yeah.
But it has been infinitely easier because we have so many people who have backed us up and helped us out.
Because it's their place too.
It's their spot
place
too.
too.
They may own a small, tiny percent, but it's their brewery, and they bring their families, and they bring their parents, and they bring their coworkers. And I think that if you start a community, if you start from a community, it's going to help you through the hard times. And gosh, we've been through
especially when you start during the hard times.
When you start right in the middle of the hard times, it definitely helps.
And
but
they have a lot of pride in it.
And they have a lot of pride, yeah. And our city, Jersey Village, is underrated. I'm the biggest. I'm not even the mayor anymore, but I'm the biggest cheerleader of our city. It's an underrated city. It's a bedroom community that is starting to break out a little bit.
Yeah.
And we didn't really have a community space. We've had some restaurants, and it's great, but this is the first real community space for our city and our citizens to come out and experience community and trivia nights and all that fun stuff. And so I feel accomplished having done that, but I'm also sharing it with a lot of my friends. And so I can't.
Well, the journey is not fun if you do it by yourself.
No.
And it's also a lot harder if you do it by yourself, because again, we've opened up in the worst possible time, and we've gone through a lot of really difficult spots, and having a bunch of people to help you out has been great.
I'm gonna pour a little bit more of this. We still
yeah.
have. Oh no, we are actually getting close to the end of the show.
Oh,
I know, unfortunately.
Sorry about that.
We can sit around and. Well, that's what happens, right?
That's what
exactly.
You sit around, you have some beers with some friends, and time flies by way too fast.
I will say, if you come to the brewery and you see me sitting at a table with a beer in my hand, you could probably talk my ear off, or I will talk your ear off for about 2-3 hours.
He will.
Yeah, and then my wife, Michelle, will text me like, hey, it's 11 o'clock.
It's kind of time to come home.
Sorry about that.
Well, we were in a golf tournament over at Jersey Meadows, and we were sitting at the golf course talking for a long time. And I was here like, oh, hey, wait, let's go to the brewery. And it's like, that's a good idea. Let's go to the brewery and finish this conversation.
Absolutely. And that golf tournament's run by Mark McShaffrey at the Backyard Grill. Fantastic guy. And he's another community-oriented person.
Yeah. He's
who
great.
can say that his business thrives because he's so involved in the community. And I very much model a lot of what I do after what he does. And it's true. And that's craft beer, but craft beer in general is community spirit, community oriented.
Again, like we talked about
earlier, you got to leave this place better than you found it.
It attracts a certain type of mindset.
I agree.
And at the end of the day, it's people that aren't that focused on themselves. They're focused on what they can do to help others.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
And
absolutely.
That's what makes this industry
to finish all kumbaya, but yes, we absolutely.
Yeah.
But also make good beer. Make good beer.
Well,
just
make it tasty.
don't be a jerk.
And don't be a jerk.
I'd say another word, but I don't know if I can say bad words on this show.
Don't.
Just don't. Don't be a turd.
Yep. Don't be that. Don't be like that.
You're a politician now. You can't say bad words.
I didn't say anything.
I know.
Said
You
turd.
did a good job.
Well,
honey.
I think sitting around discussing your politics is probably a whole nother show.
Nope.
That, well, just the fact of getting into politics. Like, I thought about running. I live in Pearland, and I thought about running for city council when I first moved out there. A spot opened up, and my wife's like, "You're out of your mind if you're going to run for politics." But now I'm thinking about it again.
Just keep it local. Don't do anything bigger, because bigger than that, it's like
it doesn't matter.
Local,
local is the only way you can make a difference.
You can see the impact. You can see what you're doing, and really, it's not. I like it.
If you want to see your tax dollars going to something that impacts you like day to day, that
or the
local is the way to
love,
go. And honestly, you don't have to raise a bunch of money.
Yeah. You let me know. I'll come knock on doors for you, okay?
We literally campaigned door to door. That was our campaign. It was not raising much money and getting a bunch of fundraisers. It was knocking on doors and talking to human beings, and it was the best, and we loved it. And you can do that on the local level. So that's the only politics I'll get into is the local level is better than any county, state, federal level because
I just feel like though if I did, then there's probably a lot of people in politics that really want to punch.
Yes, I think if I ever
hold that back.
I've been involved in many a talking like panels and stuff, and I'm the local guy along with state and federal people, and it's just like I don't want to be here. I don't fit in with these people because
Jersey Village is nonpartisan.
It's
so
nonpartisan.
That's
and,
good.
it's about just making Jersey Village better, making your city, making Pearland better. That's what it is, and so it's a great way to get involved, and it's not a big step. And if you want to leave it, you can leave it. It's not.
But I will knock on doors.
Easy in, easy out.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of fun. And
let me think about it.
I'll bring my 2 cute kids, and we can pick flowers
just
and do it.
Just go and well, that'll get me in.
Yeah, that's
really.
How do you think this guy got elected?
yeah, that and my daughters and I just told my daughters, hey, let's go meet all the dogs in Jersey Village, and we just knocked on all the doors.
That's perfect.
Knocked on all the doors and met a bunch of dogs.
That is literally what we did.
But it was fun. You really get to meet that old-fashioned politics the way it was meant to be. So.
Yeah.
I agree.
We're on a
Senate Avenue Brewing. When are you guys open? Like,
every single day of the week.
Yeah.
We are 7 days a week. We open for lunch every day of the week at 11 a.m. We are starting to do brunch on the weekends.
Yes.
Saturday and Sunday at 10 a.m. So yeah,
we usually close around 9, and then on weekends.
9 on the weekdays and
10.
10 on Fridays and Saturdays.
Yeah. So we're still pretty family oriented, so we don't stay up till.
And we won't boot you out. If you're having a good time, we'll clean around you.
Yeah, and people, talk about Jersey Village, but it's not that far.
Nope.
No.
So from here, I mean, honestly, how far is it from House of Blues?
We got here in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
In rush hour on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
I was the mayor of the city. I'll cheerlead the city, but Jersey Village is a geographical anomaly. It's 10 to 20 minutes from anywhere
where you want to go.
It's
seriously
easy
Katy,
to get to.
Downtown, anywhere.
We're on Highway 290 at Bellway 8, exit Senate Avenue. Easy to remember, and come see us. Yeah, come for lunch.
Come try this jalapeno beer.
And you don't have to drink beer. We have wine, we have cider, seltzer, sodas. Bring the kids. Dog friendly, kid friendly. It's a good time.
Yeah, bring your pups. We like those.
We love dogs.
Yeah, Michelle, Andrew, thank you both very much.
Pleasure
I know
to be here,
you just
John.
got back. Just continuing the vacation right here on Drink of
it.
Ages Radio.
Couldn't have asked
Thanks
for a
for
better
having
day.
us.
Thank you so much for having us on. It's an honor.
Definitely. Market Junction is our band this week. They will be playing the 4th of July down in Mont Bellevue, and then July 30th coming up to Mucky Duck. They'll be playing there as well. So
That's a great venue.
check them out online, Market Junction. I mean, they're you can find their stuff all over the place.
Love it.
Love it.
Badass band.
I'm
We're
a
going to
new
listen
fan.
to some more of them as soon as the show's
yeah.
over with. I want to thank everyone listening and everyone that came out. You can go to drinkofages.com, SoundCloud, Amazon, Audible, Apple, all these places now to listen to Drink of Ages, sponsored by No Label Brewing Company. And next week we will be back here on Tuesday night recording next week's show. So come out to House of Blues and hang out with Decca. And our band is the Bloggards. It's going to be a really good time.
Awesome.
Everybody be safe. Talk to you next week.
Broken handle on that 97 Olds. I keep the window down and reach inside the door. Ain't a thing in there that they could take from me that I really need. Well, I called your name till I was blue in the face, and I broke the moon, but I let it go. 'Cause it don't come in the color that you wanted. Color me hopelessly in love. 'Cause all I really need is us. Dime store cowgirl, Casey was her name. I dreamt of giving her my mama's diamond ring. Ain't a thing in this old poor boy she could see that she'll ever need. That's alright. Well, I called your name till I call your name till I'm blue in the face, and I rope the moon, but I'll let it go every time. 'Cause it don't come in the color that you wanted. Color me hopelessly in love. 'Cause all I really need is us. Thank you guys so much for having us.
Drink up! It's a drink of ages! Now drink of ages!
John Bargerstock from KT Wellness is back with us. And John, tell us how testosterone replacement therapy can be beneficial for those who need it.
Great question. Well, a lot of guys think that it's just treating an area below the belly button region, but actually what it is treating area from head to toe. There's a lot of, symptoms that can creep up over the years because of the deficiency, but really what it helps is a multitude of things. It helps us with our mental clarity and staying focused throughout the day. It helps us avoid fatigue and be energetic throughout the day. Of course, it helps our libido and performance in the bedroom. There's studies that show it's great for the heart. It has a multitude of benefits, and of course there are risks, but the benefits far outweigh those risks.
So that's what you guys do at KT, though. You can come in, get your numbers tested, and see if you're actually a good candidate for this.
Yep. Actually, we make sure everybody qualifies for treatment before we offer that treatment. We don't just allow anyone to come in off the street and get testosterone therapy. It is a therapy, which means we bring people back to normalized, and I like to use the word optimized levels, not just normalized levels. So if they're deficient, we check their number, we verify that with a blood test. There has to be presence of symptoms. And then we put those two pieces of information and decide whether or not this person is a good candidate for treatment.
Well, that's fantastic, because John and I, we kind of share birthdays. He's one day before, and we just had it. And so we're getting older, and things aren't, it's not quite like it
Recovery
used to
time
be.
is not as quick as it used to be.
Yeah, no, of course. But no, it's it's something every guy should know their number, where they are now, because with each decade of life, our levels drop anywhere from 10 to 20%. So it's a pretty drastic change, once you hit your late 30s and beyond.
Well, you can find out more information at ktwellness.com, and this portion of the show, the Men's Health Minute, is sponsored by KT Wellness. Unlock your potential.
Thanks, John, for having me.